you're talking about families staying in Chicago,
Right.
even about okay. So let's go back. The reason why people like to move or prefer to move is because their property taxes are high, especially in those areas that you mentioned, anywhere between Lakeview, Lincoln Park. If we're talking about some of the really good schools, where Nettlehurst, Blaine, Audubon, Burley, Bell. So these are particularly
Hamilton.
in very high property tax areas, right?
Well, to go on your tax point, so Cook County is enormous. And I think what a lot of people forget is the taxes are relatively the same. However, you get more land when you go to the suburbs. So that's kind of the big differentiator. You might be paying the equal taxes, but you get a little bit more land. And I think people forget when they go out, you've got to really go to get a newer house, maybe that doesn't need as much updating or something like that. Sometimes it's affordability and taxes. But when they really start looking, because I think the number one draw to stay is commute. A lot of both parents are working now and they don't want to have long commutes. So they want to go into neighboring suburbs, maybe Oak Park or Wilmette or Winnetka. That's not as far of a drive or a train commute. But then when they get there, they realize they're going to have to do a total fixer-upper, have same high taxes, but you get maybe a double yard or something like that.
Great.
But we talked about this last week. We were
did.
talking, and I kind of called out Oak Park, and I was talking about this. And the taxes aren't cheaper. Everyone discusses Chicago as being such a tax-heavy place. When you look at a lot of the properties that are in the surrounding suburbs, they are not cheaper. They truly aren't.
I always say make sure that in 5 years you can still be comfortable. And if you're expecting a little one, or you don't want a little one, is it going to be enough square footage so that you move in and you don't instantly feel like you have to purge your stuff? And we think that right now, because there are so many rentals going on, it's going to be more multi-units where families are going to say, hey, I'm going to live on the top floor, but I'm going to rent out the first floor. And we think that's going to be the new wave, because people are still going to have that investment aspect, but at the same time, in the future, if they want to, they can convert it to single-family home.